Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Joe from the Northeastern Native Plant Digest, and today I'm going to be planting an Annabelle hydrangea. All right, so today I'm going to be planting an Annabelle hydrangea. So this is a cultivar of Hydrangea arborescens, or our smooth-leaved hydrangea. So this is a native hydrangea, native to the northeastern part of the United States. And Annabelle is a cultivar that really gets beautiful, as you can tell by this picture, really beautiful big blossoms on it, big white blossoms. They spread to be about 4 to 5 feet wide. They get to be about 4 feet tall. They have a moderate growth rate. They're winter hardy. Another great thing about these type of hydrangeas versus the old-fashioned blue or red hydrangeas, the hydrangea macrophylla, is that these actually bloom on new growth. So they're going to grow next year. They're going to leaf out, and they're going to bloom on next year's growth. So you don't have to worry about these getting their buds killed off in the wintertime like you do the old-fashioned kind of hydrangeas. I've had people question me about how come my hydrangeas didn't bloom this year, and then when I ask them, and what type it is, and they tell me, and if we've had a particularly harsh winter or a really late hard frost, I'll tell them that's probably why, because those hydrangeas, the macrophylla, they bloom on last year's growth. So that's another great benefit of these, and they're native. They help pollinators. They support wildlife, and I'm gonna plant one up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the pot, show you some of the things that I do when I'm planting a new plant to hopefully get them started, and if I'm lucky, maybe I'll even get a free plant. I'm gonna pause this video, and I'm gonna unpot this hydrangea. So this hydrangea looks pretty good. One thing I'm noticing is it got kind of a floppy stem here. If you see anything that looks kind of like it's half dead or anything like that, you just want to go ahead and take that off and get rid of it. Another thing here is a lot of places have this kind of, I don't know what this is, some type of moisture retentive or maybe a weed barrier on top. You can take that off. I probably will throw it in the hole there just to add some organic soil. And then that looks pretty good. Another thing you're going to want to look at when you get a plant from a nursery and you take it out is you want to look at the condition of the roots when you get them out. You want to make sure that they're not really root bound. A lot of these plants, they sit in a pot all season long. This one doesn't look too bad, but a lot of times you'll see them and the roots are just girdling the plant, growing in real thick circles. And really what you want to do is you want to kind of come in here and you want to tease those roots. What that's going to do is it's going to encourage the roots, instead of growing in circles, to start growing laterally, growing down. And it's really just going to give the plant a better opportunity to grow. If they girdle themselves, if the roots girdle themselves over time, it's probably going to kill the plant. Now, I was hoping that I was going to be able to maybe get a free plant out of this thing. But I don't know. We'll see. So this one, this is a possibility. So a lot of times when I'm looking at a plant, I look at the, where the roots, where the stems meet the soil. Sometimes you may have two plants growing in there. Maybe a sucker's come up or something like that, and you can cut them out. I think I might be able to get another plant out of this. If you can see, you see this one stem right here. Get these dead leaves out of the way. This one has a stem growing right there by itself, and I think I can cut that away and get another plant out of it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And this works great for some plants. I've done winterberry like this, got a lot of free winterberry. So what you want to get a tool that's great for cutting through knives. Now, my wife brought me this. It's a Japanese gardening tool, and I forget what it's called. It's got a really narrow profile on it. I mean, it's like thin, razor thin, serrated teeth. If anybody knows what this is called, leave it in the comments below. But this thing This thing cuts through, actually might be right there. This thing cuts through roots like butter. And I love this. This is my go-to tool when I'm dividing plants, because I don't care how thick the roots are. This thing seems to go through. Sometimes, not always, I might need a shovel, but this thing, 90% of the time, this thing really cuts through this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video, and I'm going to see if I can cut that off. Or let me see if I can do it right here. If I can wedge this here. So you're going to want to get in here, and don't worry about. So I'm cutting this here. I don't want to cut myself. All right. So there you go. That was easy. So now I got a brand new hydrangea arborescens Annabelle, and I still got a nice full-size parent plant right here. That's the way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this thing in the hole. I got the hole dug out right over here. I added some compost and stuff in there. You want to make sure you dig the hole wider than the plant is. Doesn't have to be crazy wide, but I like the plant a little bit wider. And then I'm going to add in the back the soil in. Now this area that I'm growing, it looks like I'm just planting it in the middle of my yard. And so about this actually area I just kind of did this year, and I'm getting ready to redo this. I got the cardboard. I'm going to sheet mulch this with cardboard and then mulch it. But I wanted to get this plant in here before I did all that, because I didn't want to have to put the mulch down and all that and then redisturb it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and then fill this hole in. All right, I think it turned out pretty good. So the very last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to water this in. And one thing I didn't do is I didn't add any extra fertilizer into this hole, because it's getting into late September, and I really I don't want to encourage this thing to grow or bloom or anything like that. So I just put it in here. I'm going to water it real good. Hopefully it'll start rooting in, and then it'll go dormant, and then next year it'll leaf out and it'll bloom. And then, you know, I got the added advantage now of planting this new one. So there again, that's Annabelle hydrangea arborescens. You can pretty much find them at any local nursery carries this particular plant, or this particular species. There's a lot of cultivars out there. There's Mini Mavet, there's Incredible. There's red ones and white ones. There's a lot of variety to choose from. I think that if you do like hydrangeas and you like native plants, this is a great alternative. It's going to give you blooms. It's going to bloom for you reliably every year, and it's going to bloom whether you have a hard winter or not. So that's another plus about this. So there you go. This is Joe from the Northeastern Native Plant Digest. Hope you liked this video. Hope you got a little tip out of that. And like I said, if you know the name of that tool, leave the name in the comment. I appreciate it. All right, bye.